Hi everybody, good afternoon and welcome to Fun and Food Gatherings again. Today is Sunday, July 4th, 2021, and I am about to do the first video of the year. I've been very busy. I haven't been able to keep up with work and the garden. I basically jump out, go to the garden, do a couple of stuff, and then quickly I jump right back into the house. But I kind of want to do a general video, capture all the stuff we have in the house, capture all the stuff we have in the garden, and then I'm going to do a more particular video in future to try to describe some of this stuff. I'll just do a general video right now, so we have a comprehensive documentary of what we have here. This is the garden egg, the Nigerian garden egg, and this is a self-wicking system which I built, and then I plant 4 garden eggs. This is just the latest one that we planted. This is where we feed the water into the container. So there's some pockets of water in here that will keep feeding these plants. I'm going to explain more about this stuff later when I do individual videos about this particular stuff. But for now, we'll just do a run through. This is my cayenne pepper from last year, from 2020, and if you look down there, see the peppers. I'm sure you see them right there, hanging there. They kind of tend to go under. See, long peppers over there. So, and the flowers are coming. I try to shake them to pollinate more. Tomatoes, these are, they call them, these are patio favorites. I have a bunch of this. This is the blonde, you can see that. They call them blonde bell. I have harvested one already. Oh, this is actually almost overgrown. See, just pick this one out. Blonde bell, it has a little crack already, mostly because I haven't. This is almost overgrown, but we just clip this out, and then we just eat this. It's not hot at all. You can throw this in your salad. There, okay. Now, this is the snack ball. If you look here, you're gonna see loads and loads of, oh man, lots of ants. See the ants in there? Lots of ants. And because these ants are arthropods, I'll be able to use the diatomaceous earth to take care of them. So not worried about those. But if you look here, you're gonna see the snack balls. These are snacking pepper. You just snack on them. This is the Nigerian Nsham, which I've been trying to develop. I was able to develop them this year. And this is the bitter leaf, the Nigerian bitter leaf. I have a lot of this. You just grab this leaf and eat them. See, grab this leaf and you essentially eat. So, I'm gonna eat this one right now. It's a little bitter, but a lot of fun. So the bitter leaf, that's basically what they call them. Then you can see this. These are all these are Roma. These are Roma tomatoes that I have in here. Oh, you can see right here, right here, the Romas. So these are more bitter leaf. This is the Nigerian garden egg. This is more of the Nsham. They call this scent leaf. That's basically what they call them in Nigeria. More here in different containers. These tomatoes, these are honey. This is the rainbow cherry. See that coming up right there? I'm going to show you the bigger ones as we go down. See, all over the place. Rainbow cherry. I'm actually going to water them. That's the remember the patio favorite that we just saw right here. See, in the tiny little container where it is, it's pushing, and then you come over here, you see more. This is also I think this is the honey. These are the honeydews. I have this. For some reason, I kept them downstairs, and so a lot of ants like them. Like this particular. This is the white habanero. A lot of things like them, and I had to bring it up. I pruned it yesterday to clean off all the bad leaf, so that these ones started getting some new leaf since I moved it up here. This is the sister. This one is doing very well. This is also the Nigerian garden egg, doing well. This is also from Nigeria. I planted this about 6 or 7 years ago, but every year it comes and it tries to run me off. These are all early edible vegetables. So we've been eating a lot of this. I don't have space in my garden anymore. This is thyme. This is the lemon thyme. This had actually been in my bedroom for a while. I brought them out here so they can enjoy some sun. This is the rainbow cherry. No, this is the honey drop. The honey drop tomato. See that? Right there. You know, very nice. Just throw it in your mouth. Nice for the salad. Right here. This is the Nigerian green. A bunch of them fell in here. I haven't been able to do anything to them. I'm essentially growing this for the seed. So I'm going to get a bunch of seeds there. Here is my sweet potatoes. That is where I generate my sweet potatoes. So I put them here, generate all these clips. I grab them and I plant them. You're going to see my sweet potato garden as we go down. This is onions. We just get some green onions here if you want to cook. This is actually from last year, and I abandoned it here thinking that it was dead. You know, this year the heat came and it came back. You know, so it's actually a surplusage. See all this? These are all lemon thymes that I planted. I planted all this from seeds about February this year. Well, look at that. You know, it's going to overrun us here. So we just collect as much as we can and put them into the refrigerator, in the freezer. This is also these are the rainbow cherry tomatoes. Very nice and tasty. See? It turns into rainbow. It doesn't really turn red like the rest of the tomatoes. But you just grab this and then just put them in your mouth and eat them. This is also the Nigerian bitter leaf. This is a type that you just grab and eat. Don't forget that I just ate one earlier. And if you come down here, I planted this yesterday. I transplanted this yesterday. This is the Nchanwu, the Nigerian scent leaf. Because this thing is so rich. I kind of want to see how the Nchanwu will do here. I already have a ton of it elsewhere. Like if you look here, this is also another Nchanwu that I planted in the grow bag. I've had this grow bag for a while. And see how it is doing. Now we also have a whole bunch of other small stuff coming up here and there. But these are all on my deck. And I'm going down now. Can actually stay here and give you a quick snapshot of all the stuff we have here. I haven't done the yard cleanup, you know. I've been so busy just planting stuff and then walking. But I kind of want to do a quick shot here to capture some of the things and let you guys know that I haven't given up on gardening. We have tons of stuff. They're just beginning to come out. I'm still going to run down and then show you a bunch of stuff. If you look there, see the greenhouse. I now have two greenhouses. We have one on this side. You have one on that side where you have the corn. You can see the cornfield right there. We have that corn. We also have another corn. And we have about two more of about 25 to 30 corns that are coming up. So down here, This kale, I had to take away the home, and use it for something else. I believe it was for one of those things. And then these are my lemongrass. See that? I actually planted, I just took a stalk of the lemongrass, just one like this, and put them in my bedroom. Not bedroom, but inside the house. I believe one of them was actually in my bedroom, because that's where I have a big window in my bedroom. That's where we get enough sun. So I put that one there, and then put another one in my garden center, and brought them out and planted them. So you're looking at 2 lemongrasses right here. Remember the green Nigerian thing I showed you? You plant it once, they overrun you. So all these ones, I'm going to clean them. I'm just going to wait for them to come up a little bit so we can harvest them and then clean them out. See, now if you look here, the rainbow cherry tomato, I have tons of it. And that's what you're looking at here all over the place, the rainbow cherries. Here I planted about 100 onions, but because we have bought fresh compost and laid here, the onions wasn't able to get enough water at the beginning. And the onions are heavy feeders, and so we lost a bunch of them. And so we still have some. Some of the white ones made it, a couple of them. But now we actually have a bunch of, I believe I threw in some dill in here. And then you can see what you're looking at here is called brongy. I don't know what it's water leaf in Nigeria. Very popular, very, very tasty, very flavorful in your food. And I dropped the seed here from last year. You can see them coming up. These are almost all ready to be picked. And you pick them, and then you just keep coming all summer. This is dill. What you're looking at here is dill. I was able to, after trying several years, to grow some, and unsuccessfully. This year I was able to grow some dill and tons of it. So we planted them. We've been eating this. We have a lot of them in the freezer. And guys, you have to try some dill. You can just grab them and eat them raw like that. So that's the real deal. And what you're looking at there is oregano. Lots of them. I have tons of oregano. I have a basin full of it all the way down there. But these ones are here. On the other side, you can see okra. This is jambalaya, the jambalaya okra right there. In the middle of it, that's beets. What you're looking at right there is beets, beetroots. I've been eating a lot of them. The ones I have planted here earlier in the year, and I still have a ton of it on the other side. Now we just planted over 100 last week. As the species come out, we plant more stuff. This sweet shot will be eaten from here. We also have a bucket of four sweet shot right there. More tomatoes on this side, you can see that. More tomatoes on this big, giant basin, and the flowers are there. They've started pushing out. I have these are also see that? These are the lemon drops. I have one in here, in the grow bag. I think that's a 5-gallon grow bag, and it's pushing. If you also look elsewhere, more of the lemon drops. So most of the tomatoes we have this year are all the salad ones. And we'll see. If you look here, I started something else, kiddie pool planting. These are all kiddie pools. See that? Kiddie pools. What is that? So these are all kiddie pools. We bought them and we planted a bunch of stuff in the kiddie pools, and it basically saves you time from watering. This is one of the latest tomatoes, because we planted tomatoes in stages because we were losing many of them, and this is one of them that you just saw. Now these are grapes. See this? This is the purple, and then the other. I think I have two of them. Yeah, this one is this is the purple, and this is the kind of red grape. And they are very special. They look for more space, so they're kind of trying to overrun a whole bunch of things. Now, what you're looking at here is kiwi fruit. I have I planted 3 kiwi plants this year. We're not expecting anything out of them this year. If from next year we'll be able to get stuff in. So this is one of them. This is one of them. But I planted them in containers, and I want to see how well they do. And then moving forward, more tomatoes. I believe these are also either honeydew. I believe these are honeydew. These two are honeydew, and they're coming up. This is also the Nigerian bitter leaf. We harvested this yesterday. They're in the fridge now. This is ginger. Looking at ginger right here. I have a bunch of them elsewhere. This is the new corn that we just put in here. If you look in here, you're gonna see stuff coming up. These are all kale. I planted this about 4 days ago. They will come up here, tons of them, see massive amounts. We will transplant them from here. Come over here. What you're looking at here is diatomaceous earth, which I planted here. I sprayed here this morning to make sure it keeps the ant away. But this is the Nigerian garden egg, and I can show you the bulbs are already coming. If you can see, let me see what I can see myself. Yep, right there. See the bulbs are already coming. You can see them right over there. So they're already coming. And I have 3 in this container. See the container? I have 3 of those in here alone. Now here, the same garden egg, the same Nigerian garden egg. We have 2 of them here. This is the fig. I planted about 3 fig here this year, plus the 2 I had last year. So I now have about 5 fig trees. Same Nigerian stuff. And I've sprayed in the diatomaceous earth on all of them today. This, see that? The honey drop. You know, honey drop tomato. Now we have a small mixture of tomato and a whole bunch of other stuff in here. And they're already producing. Another fig tree right here. And let's keep going. Let's keep going. See how I build this up? This is also the last of my kiwi fruits. You know, so that's the kiwi right there. This is another fig, and I believe this is my final fig right here. This is also the Nigerian stuff. Look, I put this in the container, and look, see the fruits right there? The fruit is coming up. That one is actually, this one will actually be picked in about a week. See that? And I have a lot of them. You know, these are all self-watering containers. I don't hardly water them anymore. They just keep watering themselves. This is another kiddie pool experiment. This is giant mustard. You can see I threw in 1 onions right here, 1 of white onions to see how it does and look at how it's doing. So now I know next year I'm going to do a bunch of white onions like this. And this is a variety. I have broccolis up there. I have some tomatoes thrown in here. I actually planted a bunch of Swiss, you see, beetroots that are coming up. This were just planted like 4 days ago. And this is also thyme, lemon, English thyme, coming up here. A whole bunch of things. And let me quickly catch this one. Let's quickly catch this. You know, so if you look here, this is a section for peppers. Peppers, all peppers right here. This is it, all kinds of peppers. I also threw in, this is supposed to be cucumber, and cucumber right there, but most of these are all peppers as they're coming up. Peppers, this place gets about 5 or 6 hours of sun, and peppers are fine with like that. They just don't need that much sunlight. Now I also do this experiment here. These are all broccolis, and we'll see how they're doing. Now look at this apple. We bought a bunch of apple trees last year and planted, and look, I've already picked a bunch of them. We'll be eating apple. Now don't forget that this is a young tree, so it's not going to give you that big apple, but actually some of them are actually very big. Look, let me show you this. See that? See how big it is? It's almost like going towards the store level. Now, butternut squash. Let's see. Look at that. I started pollinating all this. Bunch of them, butternut squash, all over the place. And let me show you my, don't forget we're running through all this, but I'm going to do a more detailed video of each individual plant later. But look at this. You can see that's the eggplant. You can see the eggplant right here, the black thing. See that? Yeah, I planted this just in December, and already the eggplant is coming. And I have it's almost like a field of eggplant here, you know. And look at this. This is all white okra. All you're looking at here. I planted about 24 of them. They came up. I moved 12 out, and I will have 12 in here now. And right now they're all getting sunlight. At some point, we're going to start pruning them. But these are all white okra. And I built this stuff for them. Where do I start? Okay, let me quickly see where I can go from here to the other side. This is all, see this big round thing you're looking at? All Nigerian angara, garden egg, the Nigerian garden egg. This is all of them. These are the smallest ones I had. I gathered all of them, I threw them in here, and look at what they're doing. And let's see what I can see this. You see this? Remember this was the place I planted tomatoes last year. So this year I'm planting a whole bunch of pumpkins, cucumbers, butternut squash, acorn. We already harvested a couple of acorn here this year. And look, the butternut squash, you can see them growing big already. I have about 3 more. See that one? See how big that one is right there? And then let's keep going. Let's keep going this way. Look, see that? And let's see a lot more. I think I have, a lot more coming up. And then the acorn, we already picked a bunch of acorn. Those are acorn right here that you're looking at. I picked 2 from there. I believe there's a 3rd one hiding on the other side. But let me quickly show you the pumpkins. Look at that. see that? That is pumpkin. See that right there? It's already yellow. This is actually almost like a week away from being picked, and they're all resting on this stuff. Look at another one hanging right up there. See that? I hand pollinated all this, and this is a 3rd one of our pumpkins right here. This is all hand pollinated. So there's only 1 pumpkin giving us 1, 2, 3. There's a 4th one, I believe. Yep, right there. There's a 4th one right there. I intentionally kept pollinating because I don't want them to be too big. That way, we don't get one big pumpkin that we cut up and then have to put in the freezer. So I'm better off having a bunch of smaller pumpkins than to have one big one that you have to cut up and then have to put in the fridge. And let's see. This thing is a good 1, 2, 3. This is a good 20 feet, and this pumpkin started all the way from the end there. Intentionally, I planted it there so it can run, and look at where it is now. All the way from here. It's almost 19 feet, and it's about to head towards that place. Now, let me quickly show you the other stuff. A bunch of cucumbers. I have to come and stake this. This is the bitter melon that I threw in here. That's probably the only one that's going to make it for me, because the other 3 are not doing well. They need something that is well drained, and that's why this one is surviving. But these are cucumbers that are doing well. If you come here, I have another section of kiddie pool on the back of my outhouse, and I started this experiment. These are sweet potatoes that I threw in here about 2 weeks ago, and you can see them going right there. Cocoa yams, look at that. How about cocoa yams? Look at that. I have about 14 of this. And this place is usually where I drop whatever. Even though next year I intend to build this place up and then put a raised bed garden here. This is also the Nigerian garden egg, and it's inside the kiddie pool. You can see water in the kiddie pool. So this one, the advantage is you hardly come over here to do anything. So tomorrow I'm going to fill the rest of this place because I have other stuff that are supposed to come in here. I also water from here. I bought this from China. They brought it in, and so it's filled with water right now. And I just come here, grab some water if I don't bring my hose up, and water it. This, see that? This was part of my hybrid cherry, which came out on its own, but I kind of staked it, and you can see it's now producing tomato. This was from like 2 years ago. More cocoa yams all over the place. And look at that. This is also another kiddie pool, but I covered it with a tap to help protect the kiddie pool, so the sun doesn't destroy the kiddie pool but destroys the tap. That way this can last for about 5 years. And then I planted sweet potatoes in here. You can see the sweet potatoes are going crazy already. This is also the tree there is my pear, my Japanese pear. Look, see the fruits. They might not really, because the sun has been so bad this year. that I doubt whether many of them will make it to big sizes. But that's what you're looking at right there. There in bunches here and there. This is the problem. This is grape. What you're looking at here is a grape. One grape that I planted about 3 years ago. I have been killing it because I don't want it to take over my yard. This year somehow I left it to see whether it can give some shade to this Japanese spear. But look at what is coming on. So I'm going to tackle this by spreading some diatomaceous earth. It will be able to get into their wings and kill them because these are anthropods. This is a rhubarb. What you're looking at here is a rhubarb. First time planting a rhubarb. I'm not really into it, but this year I saw it, liked it, and I planted it. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, this is a pepper that actually was doing very well, and somehow something attacked it. You can see what happened right there. Something attacked it, which is also good because what it means is that all these ones will now shoot out and I'll be able to get more pepper. Bad news is that this is July 4th. Good news is I still have about 5 months on it. So we'll see. More peppers, more peppers. Many of these will produce, but we won't be able to get that much out of them because I didn't start these peppers in December or January. I kind of waited. This is also another Japanese pear that I bought last year and planted so it can complement this, so it can help with the pollination. Also more cocoyams, and this is actually my main cocoyam section. I only have 6 cocoyams in here, but you can see how big they are doing. Look at this one has already, one cocoyam already has more than almost 8 shoots. Threw in a pepper here, trying to get as much space as I can. Let's go up a little bit. I'm gonna slide in here and see what I can see. This tomato I didn't plant. It was from last year, so it shut out on its own. But this is my hybrid cherry. I gave it support, and look at what it's done. It has tomatoes all over the place, all over. Now let me show you some of the grapes. But by the way, this is the third corn section that I have. This corn are called Boone County White. All this corn right here. Problem with the corn is the wind. So I bought this fiberglass sticks. I use this fiberglass stick and then I tie it up, and it kind of helps save it from the wind. I am trying to show you some bunches. Oh, right there. Let me see whether you guys can see this. See this? These are the grapes. See the grapes? Bunches of grapes. Lots of them. But they hide. They hide underneath. And this place is kind of tricky for me to show more. See that? You can see that right there. Yeah. So we have just this grape is producing so massively on this side. There are so many of them. Look at that. Let me show you this. See that? Right there. See that? Lots of grapes. Lots and lots of grapes. So I'm going to probably cut off some of the shoot because it's going to run us out here. But I think, and these are the real grapes. This is not the one that has the this is the one that has the seed in, which is actually the ideal one for winemaking and stuff. This is the sweet potato corn, the sweet potato field right here. Looked like I just stepped on this, but that's fine. So, but this is the sweet potato field. I have it all the way from here, all the way up there. That's the main sweet potato. I still have, we don't have pockets here and there in other stuff. What you're looking at right there, that look like a fence, these are all asparagus that I planted about 7 years ago as a fence, and it has remained a fence. We pick them. This is the first thing we eat here. We pick them as soon as it starts warming up. We get a bunch of them and we eat them, and then the other ones will remain as a fence. It has the male and the female. The female is the one you eat. The male is the one that remains as a fence. Also the Nigerian bronchi right here on its own. Oh, look at that. Look at the bee. See the bee right there? This is, see that? That's how I scatter distance. These are all like oregano, and the bees like them. So I keep them here to attract the bees, oregano. I've already cut a bunch of this. I have them in the freezer now. Now look, let's come over here. This is also more eggplant here. I have the tree right here, so I use the eggplant. I use the tree to give it some shade because eggplants actually want some shade. Now, if you come down here, what you're looking at, strawberries. Strawberry. The problem with my strawberries is a lot of things like it, and they won't let me have any. See that? See the strawberries right here coming up. As they come up, I keep struggling to eat them. I have three. I have two of this. One on this section. There's also another one. More tomatoes. This was the section of the house, remember, that I had to build this massive stuff in here to be able to reclaim. Now we're producing some good food here. These are one of my last Roma tomatoes that I planted in the tire. Put some hair in it and look at how beautiful they're doing. The next month or so we'll start picking this. Let me show you that. This, what you're looking at, is Atlantic Giant, the pumpkin. It comes out white, and that's what it is. So we're going to have at least one of them harvested. I planted this right in there. They were actually planted up there. Then I had to transplant them down here. And only this one is producing. It doesn't really react to production, but I've been able to get, I think I have about 2 of it going up now. These are all acorn. What you're looking at, this is acorn. Those two are some peppers. I believe these are probably the Pavlavo peppers. And then zucchinis. We have been lucky with this stuff. See that? Right there. Probably see. Let me see whether you guys can see. Yep, right there. See that? So we've been lucky with our zucchinis this year. We've been harvesting them. I've given out a couple to friends that showed up. And we have, let me show you. This one has a lot coming up now. See that? If you look all the way down there, there is a good 6 or 7 of these that will be ready for harvesting in the next week. And we have about 2 in the refrigerator. So this is just the zucchini section right here. And then I planted cantaloupes. These 3 are cantaloupes. I thought about them late and I decided to develop some. So these are cantaloupes. This is also a cantaloupe. I can't remember. I dug this hole today to bring something in. I can't remember what it is. Have some tomato in there. Have some tomato in there. This is something I used when they used in bringing my electric bike when I bought an electric bike about 6 or 7 years ago. I've been trying to break it down and throw it into a trash. Now, after I planted the cantaloupe there, I decided, okay, this is going to be a house for a trail for the cantaloupe. That's why it is here. This is all sweet corn right here. Can you see? They're already producing, fertilizer and producing all the, see that? This is all sweet corn. And then I put in what's it? Scarlet runner beans. These are scarlet runner beans. So we did 2 here, kind of the 2 sisters instead of the 3. So basically what we did is we planted the corn and then waited until the corn came up, and then we came and planted the beans. What you're looking at is the beans, So the beans come up automatically. You do nothing to them. They just release on the corn. Now, when we finish picking the corn, the beans will now continue here until about November when, we pick the beans. See that? So that's basically all this section. That's what is going to happen. Now, it looked like my rake. I made a mistake and left the rake here, hoping to pick it up. And look, the beans grabbed it too. So I'm going to let my rake stay here. It looks like I might lose it, but that's fine, So, now another section of tomatoes. Look at that. I have a section. Look at it. These are all rainbow hybrid cherry. Hybrid cherry. But if you look in there, see what is going on. Massive amounts of a cluster of tomato. More than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 11 tomatoes right off there. You can see that. Let me get it close. So, see that right there? Jesus Christ. So tons of tomatoes in there. Now this is also another corn. I have never seen anything like this before in terms of size. Look, see how long it takes for the camera to get up there? It is a good 10 feet corn. It is called Trucker's Favorite. I bought it from this farm in Missouri. Ordered them in there, and look at how big they are. They're called a Trucker's Favorite. I planted them at the same time as this one. But you can see that I think it has just started pollinating, because I can see here, look, you can see the one there that is pollinating. So in the next week or so, we'll probably see pollination across for these ones. So between here and there, we have about 70 cones from here all the way down there. Then we have another 30 over there, and then we have started about 25 to 30 more. So we probably have about 130 cones produced this year. The same Atlantic, see that? Atlantic giant pumpkin right here. And then in the kiddie pool, I have a bunch of different tomatoes, including the Sudaki. That's the Sudaki right there. And you can see this. I forgot the name of this particular, because I planted this last year among the 20 varieties I planted, and it came up on its own. I grabbed it and put it in the kiddie pool this year. Let me quickly show you guys this. Oh, more apple. See, more apple tree. See that? More apple tree. More apple fruits from that one tree. And then now I have a section of stuff here. I'm gonna show you. See that? A section of stuff here. You know, these are the Nigerian garden eggs. I try as much as possible to help with the pollination. So I basically come here and do that. And if it's laying here, a whole bunch of other stuff growing. This is also the Nigerian Brongy, and this is the oregano. See that? This is the oregano, which I like. I grab the oregano, I just put it in my mouth. So now the peppers. These are throwing some peppers. These are all self-watering containers that I constructed. Let me show you. Look, see how tiny, how small the pepper is. It's not even up to 12 inches. But look at what is going on. See that? And this is really, really hot. So, and then the Nigerian garden egg, then already loading fruits. You know, the peppers. See that? Flowers coming up. And let me show you. This is my fig. The fig tree. I bought this fig last year. Developed some of the ones you saw there from here, and look at the fruits. So I'm going to be having some fig fruits at some point. See that? Fig. Right there. A lot of them. This is the first one. Also the Nigerian Brongy thing next to it. And then if you come over here, see the tiny little fig too. This is another fig tree. And you can see the fruits. So I have 2 figs in there that are producing fruits. And then the Nigerian thing right there. And so now let's keep going. I might not open this place, but the greenhouse is full of broccoli. So let's see whether you guys can take a peek. If you see, look from here. So another day I'm gonna do this because I'm in a hurry. We're gonna be going somewhere. And then look like some people are cutting their lawn, mowing their lawn on the other side. So the noise is coming in. But if you look here, you know, so we have a bunch of cabbage in here, because I kind of want them to be protected from all the moths, all the caterpillars and stuff. So you're looking at broccoli. We've been picking broccoli from in here. I think, let me see, what I need will be ready for picking. We'll see. I have to water it sometime in the evening when I come back. And then we have more potatoes here. See that? So we do have a lot more potatoes here. We have a lot more potatoes here and growing. Let me show you this. Look at that. See the grape? Beautiful, right? Beautiful. But look at the problem. See all the stuff flying around? Now this thing cannot easily be controlled by spraying some diatomaceous earth in there, but you have to make sure that it gets into his skin. Okay, let's keep going. This is another kiddie pool, and then I have a lot of peppers in here. This is the cayenne. Look at this cayenne. See the cayenne? See the fruits? See them? And today is actually July 4th. So it's not like we have a lot of time to pick this all summer. And this is from last year. You can see the cotton. I pull it off from the ground, clean it up, put it in the container, take it indoors or put it somewhere that is warm. I just hibernate it. See that? And then once the year turns around, I plant it and you start picking. Instead of trying to grow a tiny little one and going up on it, you just have this one ready. Now let me show you this. See that? This pepper is called Sweet Heat. Look at the tiny little thing down here. Look. Let me show you. See, this is almost ready. I sprayed some diatomaceous earth on it before to, that's why this is a little white. But you can see it's a little purplish. It's gonna turn red. I picked about 2 of them already that we have indoors. As a, really, really nice. Look, see that? Green, only here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And look at the pepper. It's not, look at my hand. See that? It's not even 8 inches. It's not even 8 inches. I have more than 14 peppers. I have 2 of this. I have this one there. I have another one of it on this side. Look at that. So this stuff is something. Now we haven't picked this yet. This is another of our Nigerian bitter leaf. We haven't picked it yet. If you look in here, there's also another section of the Nigerian garden egg. I tried this one in the kiddie pool. What I can say is that they don't like too much sun. So I believe because of the sun, they're not doing as well as their counterpart on the other side. Now on this side, we have some onions. They're not doing very well. I think it's because of the compost. This is all uncooked compost, that we have in here. But now I decided to do something else. What you're looking at, all the smaller stuff right there, these are all beetroots. So we now dumped a bunch of beetroots in here. And the beetroots will now more than compensate, because the beetroots will be able to pick up on this and then will produce. This section is beans, scarlet runner beans, virtually all scarlet runner beans. I planted about 70 of them in here, and they're moving. Then we have this, see that? Sweet potatoes in this container. This is the type they call batata. So different from the regular ones. This is like short and big and really fat. So we have a bunch of them here, and we'll see how well they do. Now you come over to this section. You have sweet. These are regular potatoes right here. This morning I noticed this is probably, let's say, about 2 weeks from being harvested. We almost, because this should be about 3 months in the next 2 weeks, and that's about the time to harvest them. But I noticed, if you look in here, you're gonna see a whole bunch of this. See that? Those things that are eating off the leaves. So I now sprayed diatomaceous earth on them this morning, and I can see that many of them are actually gone. So that thing will probably wipe them out. Let me show you some apple. See that? Nice apple. This is the last of my apple trees, and this is actually growing the biggest. The size depends on the size of the tree. The size of the fruit depends on the size of the tree, and this is really coming. Now, the last section for the corn, I also planted the Boone County white here, and they're coming. They're not coming because it was so hot last week, I guess. Some of them are slowly picking up. See that? They're coming up. So I'll just give this about a week, and then any space that I see, I'll have to fill it up. The last of my tomatoes, I didn't have any more space. I just dumped all of them in here. But we are going to use a system called pruning for this. We'll just, I was going to do it today. It rained yesterday. I decided to let it absorb the rain. Tomorrow I'm going to come and prune it. We'll take out all the lower leaves so that it will have a good airflow. There's no fertilizer on that. We haven't done a single fertilizer. We normally use organic fertilizer. Forces for sustain. We use sustain during our first planting, which was the one we planted in the cold. But for that, I haven't done a single sustain or anything. It's organic. You can get it from Amazon. We buy the 20-pound bag for about $40. So this is where I probably say I have a good amount of tomatoes, and I have different types of tomatoes. These are cherries, But if you look in there, you see bigger size ones. These are different types of tomato. This definitely will be from last year, because eventually I started seeing, after I lost a good amount of tomato from an unexpected frosting that occurred in April, I had to quickly go into damage control trying to get tomatoes, and so I used a lot of tomatoes that were coming up on their own here. And so, I mean, the ones I planted last year that I threw out, so I used a bunch of them, and that kind of saved the situation. Onions, threw a lot of this in here from seed, and they can see what's going on. They're pushing. I didn't do any transplanting. Instead, I threw in peppers, lots of peppers. See that? Lots of peppers, and all these peppers will start producing. In the next month or so, we'll start picking peppers here. They're actually coming up. You can see that right there. See that? Right there? So, yeah, right here. So, and then these are Swiss chard right there. We've been picking this, kind of gotten a little tired of them, and then left them here. These are tires though. So we do every experimental planting here. We plant on tires, we plant in containers, we plant in grow bags, we use our logs to create raised bed gardens. We buy our compost. We buy about, this year I bought about 10 cubic yards. They brought the 10 cubic yard and then dumped it out there, and I keep using as much as I need. The rest of them is what you're looking at right there. The rest of the 10 cubic yard. So we get somebody to help us, some helper to help us, and move as much of them indoors, because those guys won't bring them inside for fear that their truck will sink. Also the Nigerian stuff. Okay, so these are also the kiddie pool planting that I was talking about. We just put stuff in grow bags. Look at the pepper. They're already coming up. See that? That is a San Marzano right there that you're looking at. San Marzano. I have different types of tomatoes this year. I have the San Marzano, I have the Roma, I have the Sudaki, plus whatever that came from my last year's. Sweet potatoes that we threw in here, regular potatoes right there that are almost ready for picking, and then peppers.